Okay. So welcome everyone to Tapping into Love. And today we're going to focus on healing the Trump trauma. So I think a great way to begin would just be for us all to kind of ground and just take a few moments to connect. So I just invite you to get comfortable wherever you are and to close your outer eyes and to allow yourself just to go inside and feel your feet on the ground and allow your spine to elongate. Just taking a few deep breaths, giving yourself permission to slow down from the busyness of the day and all the technical energy, chaos from trying to get onto this call. Let's just use that to slow down. And I invite you to welcome in your breath. It's our dear companion in life here. And just find the place or space inside you where you can connect, either imagining yourself like a tree putting roots into the ground, or imagining that you can take a cord and plug it into universal consciousness, to the Great Mother. Just find the way that you know how best to connect to Source, to the God of your understanding. And in this place, this space of connection, we want to invite and welcome in any of our beloved teachers, guides, animal spirit friends, angels, dear souls, to come into this space, into our circle today for the highest healing, for love, for protection, for guidance, for safety, for love. And let's just take 3 conscious deep breaths together. And on the first conscious deep breath, let's breathe in, and then we're going to exhale anything from the past, anything that came before today, this past week, this month, that we just want to let go of to be here now together. So breathe in together and exhale out the past. And then on our next conscious inhale and exhale, we're going to do the same for the future. Just whatever is going to come after this class, later tonight, next week, next month. Let's consciously inhale in and release out the future. And on our third and final conscious breath, let's just really breathe into the present moment. So breathing in and releasing into the present. And then you can open up your eyes, and we're gonna join together now in our circle. So just want to handle some logistics. I'm intending that this class will go till about 12:30 Hawaii time, which is going to be 2:30 your time, Rena.
Right.
And it's good to have some water by you, and also a piece of paper and pen. Do you have that available?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And one other logistics, I know Nicole and I have done some tapping before, some EFT, so I think she's pretty aware of the points, right, Nicole? The tapping points?
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember all of them as you
Okay,
said that earlier, with not having video. I
right.
think I remember.
I'm going to do my best to describe it. And Rena, I'm just curious, have you had any experience with EFT or tapping before?
Not really. I
Okay.
saw a video once that I tried to do tapping, but no, not really.
Okay. Well, I am a pretty good, I've definitely experienced it at it. So we're gonna, yeah, we're just gonna, I'm gonna guide you. So it's gonna be
Okay.
fun. And the way that I kind of teach my classes is that I call it kind of the ABCs of tapping. And that stands for becoming aware and acknowledging and assessing what your problem is, what's going on. And for today, we've kind of chosen the topic of healing the Trump trauma. So that's going to be our focus. Um, the B that I use in the tapping is that we're going to bless ourselves and balance ourselves. And the C stands for clearing and cleaning. So our intention is going to be to clear and clean our negative thoughts, our judgments, our experiences from our body. And I will send you, you won't have to take a lot of notes on like all this. I'll send you a handout afterwards that has the tapping points on it. We'll have a visual for you and then a bunch of different tips. So you won't have to worry about really taking notes on that. No worries about that. I've got a lot on my website also. So you don't have to concern yourself with that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to tune in to the topic, healing the Trump trauma. And so I realized that that may mean different things to each of us. And so what I want you to do is just kind of tune in right now to what comes up when you think about either our president-elect or whether you think about the actual past election, however you want to tune in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you some questions that's going to help you just become more aware of what's going on in your body and mind. And so you're going to write these down and then we're going to share it with each other. So I'm going to go, just give you some questions to reflect on. So the first thing is when you think about this past presidential election that we've had and Trump getting elected, what are some of the voices that you have inside of your head, some of the negative self-talk? And you can just write them down, maybe 4 or 5 different phrases that you have in your mind. So you can just take a moment to do that right now. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so you can always add to your list. But what I want you to reflect on now is what feelings are coming up in your body when you think about Trump as president or leading the country. You're just tuning into how it feels in your body, what emotions come up, and what you notice. And then after you've kind of noticed the feelings, whether it's anger or sadness or disappointment or rage, whatever it is, just notice where it is in your body. Are you holding it in your stomach, in your belly? How do you know that you're feeling this? What's the specific part of your body that you notice it the most in? And then let's have you shut your eyes and just imagine that this whole experience, the thoughts that you're having in your head and the feelings inside your body, if there was a metaphor, if there was a picture, sometimes maybe related to the weather, like a storm or clouds, or just some kind of image or metaphor or symbol that might come up that represents what you're personally going through in relationship to this issue, just allow a metaphor to appear for you. And whether it's visual, or maybe you're hearing something, or a symbol, or you're feeling it, just see if there's something that comes up. And then what we're going to do is you're just going to, when you think about this overall, when you think about this, just the experience that you're going through right now, your fears, your worries, your doubts, and if you had to assess it from 0 is no big deal at all, 10 is it's a big deal, I'm really, this afraid or this worried, just give yourself a number before we even do the tapping, so we know where you are before we begin, and then we'll check in afterwards. Okay, so I think we'll kind of start with that. Those are going to be the way that we're kind of like tuning in. So what I'd like to do now is have us share some of what's coming up for each of us. And I'm going to suggest that I'm going to teach you a tapping point so that we're going to begin the clearing process. We don't want to take on each other's trauma when we're listening to each other's stories. While we may be able to identify with what's going on, we want to start the clearing process. So the first tapping point that I want to just teach you guys, it's right below, if you take your thumb and pointer finger and bring it to where your collarbone is, and you touch those little bones there right below your neck, and then you go down an inch and out an inch, there are these points in massage, they call them K27 points, and they're like little indentations right on your chest. And so what I want you to invite you to do is just to tap right there. Does that make sense, those points? Can each of you find that?
Yes, yeah. I found them. Now, tap, you mean just with my index finger, you said?
Yeah, so your thumb and your pointer finger are on these points, and you're just lightly tapping on it like you're patting yourself. So your thumb and pointer fingers are just going lightly, kind of like you're, just tapping a drum, very lightly. And what this does is it stimulates your meridians, and it helps the idea is that any negative energy that's stored in our system, it gets cleared and cleaned. And so just by tapping on it, then it helps neutralize whatever's going on. So is it clear? I know you haven't tapped before, so this is new to you. And so you're just kind of lightly stimulating those points. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Funny, you kind of sore that area.
Yeah, and that's natural for it to be sore. Sometimes they call them sore points. And no worries, that just means, you know, that there's energy there, and it can be a little bit tense, so no problem. So what we're going to do is we're just going to each share while we're tapping. So that the purpose of the sharing right now is a couplefold. I want to hear what's up for you guys so that I can best facilitate you. 1, 2, it also begins the clearing process, that when each of us articulate, when we verbally say what's going on for us, even though it may be negative stuff, it helps our bodies to clear whatever's going on. And yeah, so that's what we're going to begin with. So I'll just model it, and then we can go from there. So just continue tapping on your points. So the first thing is the negative self-talk that we have in relationship to healing the Trump trauma. So I'm going to, the things that I wrote down, my negative self-talk, although I probably have like a million things I could write down, but I just wrote down 3 different things. I said, I was shocked, he's a bully, and how could this happen? And then next is going to the feelings. The main feelings, I feel contracted and tense. And I mainly feel this in my belly. And when I shut my eyes, the metaphor that I got is that it's kind of like a polarity, like this line, and kind of a disconnection. And I guess another metaphor would be kind of a tug of war. And I gave my number like a 5 right now. So let's go to you, Nicole, and what's some of the negative self-talk that you have in your head?
Yeah, similar. The self-talk would be, I just wrote, I feel disgusted, shocked, angry. And then I also wrote, but maybe this is part of what's coming in my body, feeling fear, frustration, and mostly angst at the state of what will happen with the planet.
Okay.
Or the self, a feeling that comes up in my body. Gosh, in the last 2 weeks, I've had some unusual pain. So in my head and my stomach, just carrying, you know, that like gut feeling like, oh, something dreadful is about to happen. And overwhelm, very much a state of like overwhelm, like a deer in headlights, and just kind of. And then I think the metaphor, I feel like, because there's so many other things also in the world going on, I feel like I'm in the middle of a hurricane. So I do feel pretty grounded.
Yeah.
Because I also see I see the goodness in the tragedy, but I'm on this call because I'm also, you know, I don't know how long I can be in the eye of a hurricane. It just feels like a lot.
Yeah.
And then my number was like an 8.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you for sharing that. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, Rena, and what's coming up for you? What's some of the story or talk inside your head, Rena?
Well, I feel like I'm discriminated. I feel fear. I feel a challenge. Is how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess what I'm feeling in my body is nervous. I feel sweaty around my hands and feet. And I feel it in my head, like a headache, and behind my neck.
Okay.
The number that I gave myself is a 5.
Okay.
Maybe because I'm trying to, stay in control.
Yeah.
Just trying not to, just not let it influence me as much.
Uh-huh.
Just trying to avoid as much as possible is what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
Mm.
And did you have a metaphor or a symbol?
The metaphor that I have, the symbol or metaphor that I have is when I closed my eyes, all I saw was those white sheets over their heads, is what
Ah,
I saw. Yeah. So it's, those pointy hats is what I see.
okay.
And if I close my eyes again, I just see the tsunami is the metaphor. It's like you don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's coming.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's like alert. Um,
Yeah.
all systems alert. Hang on here. Right.
Exactly.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So, yeah, just take and you said your number was a 5, did you say?
5, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, you're welcome to drink some water right now.
Okay.
And we're going to do a couple different things. So I think I'm going to attempt to I'm going to go through the points with you just verbally. And then you have the option to just stick on one point. Like this works even if we just did the whole thing and you're tapping on your collarbone point. But I'm going to give you some options, okay? So first, right now, I'm just going to go through the points with you without like bringing in our material, and then we'll get back to it. So I'm just going to do my best to describe the points to you, and we'll see how this works. Because right now you guys are on your telephones, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so even if I did send you I wonder if I could even send you this on your phone. But I'm not going to worry about that. I've taught hundreds of people. I'm very confident I can communicate the points. So here we go. The first point is on the side of your hand, and it's it's called the karate chop. And so if you were to go to where your wrist bone is and your pinky bone on the side of the hand, if you were to chop some wood, you'd be using these points. And so what you're going to do is you're going to tap on these on the side of your hand, like take your right hand, your right fingers, and you tap alongside between the wrist and the pinky on the side of the hand. That's called the karate chop. And so you're just tapping lightly there. Or you can take what's called both karate chops to karate. So each of your hands just on where the pinkies are, in the flash, and just tapping them back and forth. So Nicole, I know you'll remember how to do this, yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And Rena, does this make sense since you've never done it before? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I think I do. It's where you chop,
Yeah.
and it's in between those, right?
I mean, if you're say it again.
Where you're chopping wood, you said a karate chop.
Yeah.
Just that palm, that outer palm.
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. And you can either take the fingertips from your other hand and tap there, or you take the other karate chop, what they call, and just tap. And so we always begin here, and what this does is it kind of sets up the body for healing. It's letting the body know that, okay, something's going to happen here. It's like when you go to cook, you take out all the food. When you go to bowl or whatever, the pins come down. So we just set up the stage for healing. So we're going to start there on the karate chop. And then for the tapping, I like to use both sides of our hands and both sides of our body. So you can take both of your peace fingers, your pointer and middle fingers, and you're going to take them up to your head, and you're going to find where your eyebrows begin, surrounding your third eye. And you're just taking your peace fingers and touching on the hair where your inside of your eyebrow is, and you're just gently tapping about 5 to 7 times surrounding that third eye. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. And then you're going to go follow the eyebrows and go to outside the eye. And so this is on where your just your eye crease is. You go out an inch right on the bone. So we call this outside of the eye. And you've got your peace fingers just tapping lightly there on the outside, right on the bone. Okay, you got that one?
That one? Got it, yeah.
Okay, then go under the eyes. And this point is directly under the pupils of your eye, right on the bone there. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. Then you'll take one peace finger, you'll put it underneath your nose, above your upper lip, in the crevice, right above your upper lip. One peace finger, and then the other set of peace finger is going to go below your bottom lip on what we call the chin point. So you've got one on the upper lip, one on the bottom lip, and the crevice there at the same time. Okay. And then we go to the point that I already shared with you, the collarbone point. And then you're going to go under the arm, and this is about 4 inches under your arm on the side, like where the seam of your shirt is, and you're kind of opposite to your breasts, right on the side. We call this under the arms, and you can just do it with one on one side of you. And I think for right now, we'll just do 2 other points where you'll bring your wrists together. And this is the, like where a watch band would be. So the inside of your wrists come together, tapping there. And then going to end with just one hand tapping on the top of your head, the crown chakra. Okay, so does that kind of make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. And all right, so again, just to remind you, what we're going to be doing is we're going to just be clearing some of the negative energy that we have around this issue. And we're going to kind of be opening up the pathways to have a new story, to receive some gifts. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to tap on this, like the negative energy, what's going on in our body, and yeah, and what we're feeling. And I think what I'll do is we'll begin with just exactly kind of the stories, the thoughts, the feelings that each of us have described, and then I'm going to take us from there. So the way this works is it's kind of call and response. So, and again, you have the choice to stay on one point if it's easier for you, especially Rena, for your first time. If you'd like, you could just stay on your collarbone and do the tapping. It's up to you. I'm going to be saying out loud where we're tapping, and you can choose to do it that way. And so again, it's going to be call and response. I'm going to say something, and then the 2 of you are going to be in unison repeating back. So anybody have any questions, or are you good to go?
We're good to go.
I'm good.
All right, great. So we're going to start on the karate chop. So just tapping there. And here we go. Even though I've got this Trump trauma. You guys repeat.
Even though I got this Trump trauma.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway.
I completely love and accept myself anyway.
So even though all this negative stuff is coming up.
Even though all this negative stuff is
all the negative stuff is coming up.
I'm open to the possibility
I'm open to the possibility
that I can heal this
that I can heal this
and move on from this.
and move on from this.
So even though I've got this Trump trauma,
Even though I got this,
even though it's Trump trauma,
and I feel really stuck,
and I feel really stuck,
and I've got all these doubts, worries, and fears,
even though I got all these doubts, worry, and fears,
I'm open to healing this.
I'm open to healing this.
Okay, so take a deep breath and just allow that into your body. And now we're going to tap through the point. So starting on the inside of your eyebrow, I was really shocked.
I was really shocked.
He is such a bully.
He is such a bully.
Under the eyes, how could this happen?
How can this happen?
Under the nose and chin, I feel so disgusted.
I feel so disgusted.
Moving down to your collarbone, I'm discriminated.
I'm discriminated.
Under your arms, all the feelings that are coming up about this.
All the feelings that are coming up about this.
Wrists together. This is horrible.
This is horrible.
Top of the head, I feel really contracted.
I feel really contracted.
Inside of the eyebrows, I'm so tense.
I'm so tense.
Outside of the eyes, I feel the fear and angst of the planet.
I feel the fear of the planet.
Angst of the planet.
Under the eyes, all this overwhelm.
All this overwhelm.
Under the nose and chin, all this fear.
All this fear.
On the collarbone, this is a big challenge.
This is a big challenge.
Under the arms, I feel out of control with it.
I feel out of control with it.
Wrists together, I just want to avoid this reality.
Just want to avoid this reality.
Top of the head, it seems like a hurricane.
Seems like a hurricane.
It's a huge polarity, a tug of war.
It's a huge polarity.
I'm in the eye of the hurricane.
I'm in the eye of the hurricane.
Outside of the eyes, I don't want to stay stuck here.
I don't want to get stuck here.
It's like I have a white sheet over my head. Or
I have a white sheet over my head.
Seems like a tsunami's about to come.
Seems like a tsunami's about to come.
On the collarbone. This is really scary.
This is scary.
This is really scary.
I feel like my fight or flight is here.
I feel like my fight or flight is here.
And wrists together, all that's going on in my body.
All that's going in my body.
Top of the head, my body is speaking to me.
My body is speaking to me.
And I'm listening for the message.
And I'm listening for the message.
Okay. So now just take a pause and take a couple deep breaths into your body. And I just want you to notice what you notice. Just really take that in and maybe drink some water. And so sometimes when we tap on something, on a specific item like this, it can kind of magnify it. It can make it larger. Like all of a sudden we've just like really tuned in to our Trump trauma. And sometimes it can feel like it's, whoa, now I've been trying to ignore it and now I'm focusing in on it and it can feel bigger. So what I want you to do, that could be, and that's fine. Sometimes when we tap on something, it just kind of stays the same. Nothing really happens. And then other times there's a little bit of a release. So I just want you to check in with your body and notice what happened for you. Each of you had different intensity numbers. So just noticing what you're noticing now. And I'd love to hear from you about how that felt, just to acknowledge the truth of what's going on for you. What are each of you experiencing now, just from that little round of tapping? We've got a lot more to go, but I just want to check in with you.
Well, let's see. I now give myself an 8.
Okay, it went up. Gotcha.
It went up. I actually got emotional and had a couple tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
I feel like my throat is kind of wiggly.
Yeah.
I want to just bust out in tears.
Yeah. Okay. So that just means energy's moving. Your emotions are getting activated. So, okay. Thank you for noticing that. Great. And what about you, Nicole?
Yeah, the same. I got really tearful there for a moment. My number didn't really go up. If anything, it went down.
Okay.
I feel more grounded.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to use this now. I'm going to suggest right now that you just tap on the collarbone. I have this poem that somebody wrote that really moved me, and I'm going to have us tap on it. And it was written by somebody named Wingfield Remus, and it's called "I Wept, I Rise." So I'm going to use this for our tapping right now, and so I just invite you to tap right on your chest, on the collarbone. It'll be easier this way, and we'll just see what happens. So, okay, you can respond with me. I wept for the Khan family who bravely told their story. And you can tap and say that out loud.
I wept for the Khan family who bravely told their story.
And the white America failed to respond.
The white America failed to respond.
I wept for the immigrants that struggle day after day.
I wept for the immigrants that struggle day by day.
To make a better life for themselves.
To make a better life for themselves.
And to build a new home for their families.
And to build a new home for their families.
And again heard that they are not valued.
And again I heard that
they're not valued.
I wept for the disabled.
I wept for the disabled.
Mocked for their struggles.
Marked for the struggle.
Who are reminded that they are still pushing their chairs uphill.
It's a reminder that they're pushing the wheels up to.
I wept for the same-sex couples.
I wept for the same-sex couples.
Told that their deep love is a threat.
Told that their love is a threat.
To family values.
To family values.
While a man married 3 times.
While a man married 3 times.
With countless accusations.
With countless accusations.
Of sexual assault.
Of sexual assault.
Celebrates as the torchbearer.
Celebrated the torchbearer.
Of evangelical values.
Of evangelical values.
Evangelical values.
I wept for the girls who yet again.
I wept for the girls.
I wept yet again.
See that even if they are loyal,
even if they're loyal,
even if they're
and uphold their marital vows,
and uphold their marital vows,
and work tirelessly for the public good,
and work tirelessly for the public good,
and strive to put forth a positive agenda,
and strive forth
And
to put a
strive.
positive agenda.
they are not good enough.
They're not good enough.
If a charismatic man comes along
If a charismatic man comes along
to challenge their accomplishments
to challenge their accomplishments
and grade their physical appearance,
and grade
And
their physical
grade.
appearance.
I wept for the boys
I wept for the boys
who are presented with a model of success,
who are presented with a model of success,
built upon rising higher,
built upon rising higher,
It's about rising higher
by knocking others down.
by knocking others down.
I wept for the women
I wept for the women
who have been groped by strangers
who had been groped by strangers
and then told that they did something to bring it on.
and then been told that they did something to bring it on,
Or that they lied when they dared to come forward.
or that they lied when they dared to come forward.
I wept for rural Americans
I wept for rural Americans
who feel so disillusioned
who feel so disillusioned
that their best hope comes in the form of a man,
that their best hope comes in the form of a man,
offering walls and insults and instability.
offering walls of insult and instability.
I wept for the earth,
I wept for the earth,
threatened by human unwillingness
and by human
unwillingness
to face the reality of our collective impact.
to face the reality of
our collective impact.
I wept for those who seek to tell the truth,
I wept for those who seek to tell the truth
as they watch boldly
as they watch boldly
stated lies overshadow
it lies overshadow
the plainly spoken truth.
the plainly spoken truth.
I wept for African Americans
I wept for African Americans
when the answer to systemic bias
the answer to systemic bias
is to stop and frisk,
is to stop and frisk,
law and order.
law and order.
I wept for the young women facing horrible choices.
I wept for the women who are facing horrible choices.
I wept for those who have lost loved ones to gun violence.
I wept for those who have been lost
gun violence.
gun violence.
I wept for religious freedom.
I wept for religious freedom.
I wept for humility
I wept for humility
and justice and mercy.
and justice and mercy.
I even wept for a man
I even wept for a man
whose sense of self is so fragile that he must paint his name in gold letters
that he must paint his name in gold letters
on everything he touches,
on everything he touches,
and who lashes out at anyone who threatens his position.
and lashes out at anyone who threatens his position.
The election might not have been about those things,
The election might not be about those things,
but it was all of them.
but it was all of them.
And so as I wept and as the tears fell,
And as I wept and let the tears fall,
the rain washes over me.
the rain washes over me.
As the skies join in my sorrow.
As the skies join in my sorrow.
And today, it's a new day.
It's a new day.
And I must rise.
And I must rise.
I rise no longer complacent.
I rise no longer complacent.
That good will prevail simply because it's good.
That good will prevail simply because it's good.
I rise aware.
I rise aware.
That democracy is fragile.
That democracy is fragile.
And difficult and worth fighting for.
And difficult and worth
fighting for.
I rise in solidarity.
I rise in solidarity.
With all who felt belittled.
That all who felt belittled.
By a campaign built on the cornerstones of hate and fear.
For a campaign that is built on the cornerstone of hate and fear. Hate and fear.
I rise, unwilling to remain silent.
I rise, unwilling to remain silent.
In the face of injustice.
In the face of injustice.
I rise with gratitude for our founding fathers.
I rise with gratitude for our fathers.
Whose wisdom built checks and balances into our government.
Whose wisdom built checks and balances in our government.
I rise having heard the suffering of small-town Americans.
I rise suffering of small-town Americans.
And wanting to listen to what their vote is saying.
And wanting to listen to what their vote is saying.
About their concerns.
About their concerns.
I rise with faith that God is with us.
I rise with faith that God is with us.
Even at the worst times.
Even at the worst times.
I rise knowing that no matter how dark the skies.
I rise no matter how dark the skies.
The sun will break through.
The sun will break through.
That a small candle can light.
That a small candle can light.
A dark room.
A dark room.
And I'm ready to hold that candle.
And I'm ready to hold that candle.
I rise with forgiveness.
I rise with forgiveness.
For all the pain we humans have inflicted on each other.
For all the pain that us humans have inflicted on one another.
I rise believing that we are stronger together.
I rise believing we are stronger together.
I rise with profound love.
I rise with profound love.
For my family.
For my family.
For the children.
For the children.
For my friends.
For my friends.
For my community.
For my community.
And for my country.
And for my country.
I rise determined to fight for a different vision.
I rise determined to fight for another different vision.
A vision of world balance.
A vision of world balance.
A world of enough.
A world of enough.
A world of opportunity for all people.
A world of opportunity for all people.
And respect for others.
And respect for others.
A world of hope.
A world of hope.
And peace and justice and meaning.
Peace and justice and meaning.
I rise.
I rise.
Okay, now just take a pause and let that into your body, all that tapping. Yeah, and again, just notice what you notice and notice what feelings are coming up. Just allow them to be there without any judgment. Notice your energy level, notice the places in your body. And let's have you check in again. Just kind of allowing your body to kind of reset, and feel free to take some water too. And what are each of you noticing now? Love to hear what's coming up for you.
Well, I feel less tense.
Okay.
I feel much better. I feel stronger.
Nice.
I don't have the pain that I had before on my joints.
Okay.
So I'm feeling good.
Great. Nicole?
Yeah, I mean, that was very beautiful, beautiful poem, beautiful. I feel empowered.
Nice.
So I feel like a little bit lighter, like a weight has lifted, not so heavy.
Right. Good. Well, I used that poem because I thought it was so articulate. It covered so many points that I didn't feel that I know we know like collectively, and it just kind of brought it all together. So I thought it was important for us to acknowledge all the depths and different aspects of things that were coming on. And yeah, I love the contrast between, just really identifying what's going on, and then the truth, like, okay, it's time to rise. So what I'd like to do now is I want to kind of take it from a different angle now that we've kind of like brought out kind of the depth of all the different ramifications that are kind of happening. I want to take it a little bit personal right now into, our association or the feelings that are coming up in relationship to President-elect Trump. And what it is that I think each of us can kind of relate to, how he represents maybe like a bully or a really arrogant, nasty kind of person. And so what I want to do is, and one way to look at it is he's kind of like a shadow, a part of ourselves that we really don't want to go there. Who wants to be associated with those qualities? So what I want to do is I want to kind of just tap on those qualities with the intention of releasing them, and then also discovering what the gift is, because within any shadow, when something's dark, when we bring it out into the light, there's a gift for each of us. So that's what I want to kind of move us towards, is finding our gift. But to do that, I want us to really just, again, focus on this negative shadow. So we're going to be doing kind of 2 rounds. One, just again, focusing on the negative stuff, but then I'm going to be moving us into more of the positive, finding the gifts. Okay, you guys game?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the side of your hand, we're going to begin with, so even though I've got this Trump shadow inside me.
even though I've got this Trump shadow inside.
And it's filled with a lot of judgment, fear, and yuckiness.
And still with a lot of judgment, fear, and yuckiness.
I do love and accept all parts of myself.
I do love and accept
all parts of myself.
So even though I've got this Trump shadow.
Even though I got this Trump shadow.
And it's filled with a lot of negativity.
And it's filled with a lot of negativity.
I'm open to the possibility.
I'm open to the possibility.
That I can tap into love.
That I can tap into love.
So even though I've been focused on this Trump shadow.
Even though I've been focused on this Trump shadow.
And it makes me feel disconnected.
And it makes me feel disconnected.
I'm open to the possibility.
I'm open to the possibility.
That I can heal this and move on.
That I can heal this and move on.
Okay, so take a deep breath and allow that into your body. Then you're going to take your peace fingers. We're going to tap through the points. So beginning on the inside of the eyes. There he is.
There he is.
He is.
On the outside of the eyes. Look at him.
Look at him.
Look at him.
Under the eyes. He is so arrogant.
He is so arrogant.
He is so arrogant.
Under the nose and chin. He is corrupt.
He is corrupt.
He is corrupt.
On the collarbone. He is very, very selfish.
He's very, very selfish.
Under the arms. I totally judge him.
I totally judge him.
Totally judge.
Wrists together. And I'm totally right.
And I'm totally right.
Top of the head. All my friends would agree.
All my friends would agree.
On the inside of the eyes. He is divisive.
He is divisive.
He is divisive.
On the outside of the eye. We're going backwards.
We're going backwards.
Under the eyes. We're going to lose all our freedoms.
We're going to lose
all our freedom.
Under the nose and chin. This polarity.
This polarity.
On the collarbone. There is no winning here.
There is no winning here.
No.
Under the arm. Stuck in this divisive system.
Stuck in this divisive system.
Wrists together. So much angst.
So much angst.
So much.
Top of the head. So much turmoil.
So much turmoil.
Inside of the eyes. All this disappointment.
All this disappointment.
On the outside of the eyes. All this blame.
All this blame.
Under the eyes. All the fighting.
All the fighting.
Under the nose and chin. All the distortions.
All the distortions.
On the collarbone. Women against women.
Women against women.
And staying on this point. This separation.
The separation.
Okay. And just take a pause. And again, just allowing that into your body. That's the negative stuff. Identifying the shadow. And just knowing that as you are tapping and you're communicating, you're releasing this negativity from your body, you know, by telling the truth, by acknowledging what's there. So just allow your body through its breaths to kind of recalibrate and just take that in. And we're going to move to the positive round now. So back to your side of your hands. Even though I really judge Trump.
Even though I really judge Trump.
And I'm right about a lot of that.
And I'm right about a lot of that.
I'm open to seeing the conflict.
I'm open to seeing the conflict.
or the polarity inside this for me.
Or the polarity
inside this for me.
I've been refusing
I've been refusing
to be anything like that.
to be anything like that.
Anything like that.
Because of the rejection,
Because of the rejection,
the disempowerment,
the disempowerment,
and all the judgments it would get me in life.
and all the judgment that was given.
Get me in life.
I judge Trump
I judge Trump
I judge him.
and other people like him.
and other people
And
like
other
him.
people,
If I were to be like him,
If I would
to be like
everybody would judge me.
everybody would judge me.
So even though I really judge this shadow person,
So even though I really judge the shadow person,
Mr. Trump,
Mr. Trump,
I'm open to seeing the conflict.
I'm open to seeing the conflict.
What's inside me?
What's inside me?
This vow I've made
The vow I've made
to be nothing like them
to be nothing like them.
doesn't let me receive the gift.
Doesn't let me receive the gift.
Yes.
So this person has some gift for me.
So this person has some gifts for me.
For me personally,
For me personally.
a calling
Calling
to step into my power,
to step into my power,
to step into my purpose,
to step into my purpose,
to step into my sacred action.
to jump into my
secret action.
Because this anger is here for a reason.
Because this anger is here for a reason.
There's an unmet need here.
There's an unmet need.
And I'm going to discover it right now.
And I'm going to discover it right now.
And I'm going to receive the gift.
And I'm going to receive the gift.
I am open
I am open
to elevating to another perspective,
to another perspective,
to rising,
to rising,
to seeing how I can take this energy
to see how I can take this energy
and use it to fuel me
and use it to fuel me
into right action,
into right action,
into empowerment,
into empowerment,
into service.
Into service.
and into service.
A deep breath, and then we're going to talk through the points again on the inside of the eye. I have a lot of judgment.
I have a lot of judgment.
Outside of the eyes, and so does everyone I know.
And so does everyone I know.
Under the eyes, I totally understand my criticism,
I totally understand my criticism,
my worry, and my fears.
my worry and my fears.
Under the nose and chin, I totally understand this push against the shadow.
I totally understand this push beneath the shadow.
On the collarbone, the division I'm creating inside myself.
The division that I'm creating inside myself.
Under the arms, all their negative traits are so clear.
All the negative traits are so clear.
Wrists together. I never really want to be like that.
I really never want to be the same.
like
On the
that.
top of the head. But I'm open to the gifts in this for me.
But I'm open to the gift that's there for me.
What are the gifts of arrogance on the inside of the eyes?
What is the gift of arrogance
On
inside?
the outside of the eyes. A beautiful little gift in a negative word like arrogance.
A beautiful gift and a negative word like arrogance.
A beautiful little gift and a negative word like arrogance.
Under the eyes. A tiny bit more arrogance in my life.
A tiny bit more arrogance in my life.
Might serve me.
Might serve me.
Under the nose and chin. I'm open to the gift in being selfish.
I am open to the gift of being selfish.
On the collarbone. A tiny little gift and such a bad word.
Tiny little gift and such a bad word.
Under the arms. Being a little more selfish.
Being a little more selfish.
Around my life.
Around my life.
Around my goals.
Around my goals.
Around my actions.
Around my actions.
Wrists together. That would be a gift for me.
That would be a gift for me.
Top of the head. I'm open to the gift.
I'm open to the gift
of being focused on my purpose.
Of being focused on my
purpose.
On the inside of the eyes. Too much focus is not in balance.
Too much focus is not in balance.
Outside of the eyes. But too little focus.
But too little focus
is causing me to be poor.
Is causing me to be poor.
Or alone or small.
Or alone or small.
Under the eyes. I'm open to unleashing my brilliance.
I'm open to unleashing my brilliance.
Under the nose and chin. To utilizing my intelligence.
To utilizing my intelligence.
On the collarbone. To uplifting my energy.
To uplifting my energy.
Under the arms. Into all my dealings.
Into all my dealings.
Wrists together. I'm open to growing myself.
I'm open to growing myself.
And top ahead. To finding my divine action.
To finding my divine action.
On the inside of the eyes. My sacred work.
My sacred work.
I'm open to rising.
I'm open to rising.
Under the eyes. I'm open to elevating.
I'm open to elevating.
Under the nose and chin. I can do this.
I can do this.
I can do this.
On the collarbone. I'm here with a purpose.
I'm here with a purpose.
For a purpose.
For a purpose.
And right now, I'm tapping into the love.
Right now, I'm tapping into the love.
That's inside me.
That's inside me.
That's inside me.
And love trumps all fear.
And love trumps all fear.
All fear.
Okay, and just take a pause and allowing that into your body. Take a couple deep breaths. Just allow yourself to kind of absorb that. Yeah, and before I check in with each of you, I want to just invite you to do a little energy exercise to kind of close the tapping and allow yourself to kind of integrate what you've just done. So take your ankles and cross one ankle over the other. And this just allows the body to recirculate. And then I want you to bring your hands out in front of you and put one wrist over the other, and you're going to clasp your fingertips together and then bring it down and into your chest. So you're kind of hugging yourself. And don't worry if you don't get this right. I'll send you a link. But basically, you're just hugging yourself. And you can close your eyes, and you're just allowing all the energy from the tapping that we've done just to recirculate. It's kind of like you're rebooting your computer right now by taking this pause. And so we're just going to be quiet for a few moments and just allow yourself to surrender, to trust, accept, and receive. And allow that image that you had earlier to just transform the metaphor without any work or effort. Just close your eyes and allow your body to recirculate the energy. And here's the time for your body to give you a gift. So just be open to receiving. And then when you feel ready, you can open up your eyes, and you're going to uncross your feet and your hands, and you're going to bring your fingertips together so that your thumbs and pointer fingers and middle fingers, ring fingers, and pinky fingers all touching. And with your eyes open, you're just gently staring down at your fingertips. Your feet are planted on the ground. This just allows you to lock in all that we've done, and helps you feel a little bit more grounded and focused. Yeah, so let's have you kind of check in again with how you're feeling now in relationship to this healing the Trump trauma, and just noticing how your numbers changed. And I'd love to hear what shifted for you, and if you received a gift or a metaphor or anything from that. I'd love to hear what's present for each of you. What are you noticing?
Well, I feel a lot relieved now. I do feel empowered. The metaphor that I see myself a female Trump with a headdress and all, with a golden headdress and all. So I feel like I'm arrogant. I feel like I can do this. I don't need to let him bully me.
Nice.
Because we are in the same level.
Yeah.
So it doesn't bother, I don't feel as bothered anymore.
That's awesome. I love that image. Thank you for sharing that. That gave me some good laughter. What about you, Nicole? What are you noticing?
Yeah. I've gone back and forth with this, either being in complete overwhelm and freakdom, and then going to the complete opposite, polar opposite of being like, no, this is a time that it's like. So what came up during all of this is just that empowerment feeling, like, just reclaiming my power. So again, I feel lighter than when we started the call. Nice. And I also just noticed my pain body does feel shifted, and it's just bizarre to me that it's that simple. Because I have been dealing with quite an intense headache pain for days, or it's not a headache, but a specific pain that is just totally gone right now. So I'm kind of blown away on that,
Oh,
that
wow.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's
Interesting
how our body, just responds. The physical, tapping, it's like you think you're not doing anything, and then all of a sudden, wow, where did that go? So I want to acknowledge you both for taking the time and just, the willingness to face it and to feel what's going on. So that's really cool because, we need each other. We as women, need to come together, and it's really sad, the division that's going on. And so, it's just a little piece, and that if I can plant a seed within you to feel more empowered and to reach out and to come from a place of unity and love, the planet's going to be a lot better. But I really think that together that we can, we have the consciousness to make change. So thank you for starting today.
Yeah, thank you, Shakti, for helping us get over this.
Right on.
Absolutely a wonderful offering. So grateful. And you just facilitate so beautifully, really. Even over the phone, it's amazing how specific you can get in. Like I thought, the points, but beautiful. Thank you so much.
Well,
that was great.
Welcome. And I will definitely send you guys the recording and also just a little handout that you can use. And I think I'll even send you that prayer because it was so beautiful. And then you can just look it over and maybe share with others. So that's
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you guys, and blessings on the rest of your day. And I will be doing future Tapping into Love series, so I can let you know. I'm going to pick a theme each time. It's going to be probably like every 2 weeks. And it's mostly on the theme of self-love. We'll be looking at different toxic habits that we have and transforming them. So work out the video thing for next time for you guys. But anyway, today, got the audio, and you'll get the recording. You'll actually get the video of me doing the tapping points. So then, like, you could, I don't know, just experiment with doing that again.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
Have a beautiful day.
Yeah. Peace and blessings.
Thank you. So lots of love.
Okay.
Much love, Shakti.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks again.
Yeah.
Bye, Nicole.